Okay, we're out here at the Harbor Freight Bandsaw mill that the company bought about 3 years ago, and just wanted to show some things that I've done to modify it to make things a little bit easier. It comes with these silver slider tubes that go in this receiver, and they come up and down, tighten in with this T-bolt here. I don't like them. It's a lot of monkeying around, switching them and stuff like that. So I built these today, built 2 of them, and I'll show how it works. It's an 1.5-inch tubing, fits inside of that receiver, and I welded 2 tabs on it, put a 3/8 bolt in there. You still need to put a lock washer on it so it stays in place, but basically they lay flat. They're an 1.5 inch tall here, and the bandsaw mill will actually only go down to about 1 5/8 inches above this green is your lowest cut. That's the lowest I can get on mine, and there's no adjustment to take it down. You'd have to get longer cables or something. So what I did was I took this 3/4 inch plywood and I made 3 of these blocks that go on here, and they're just sitting there. They do vibrate out if there's no log on them, so I'm going to drill a hole in them and just drop like a carriage bolt down through to keep them in place, because they vibrate out to the right side of the mill when you're sawing. If you don't have a log on it, and then it'll stop the wheels and stuff. If I've got a tall log and I need that extra 3/4 of an inch, I just take them off and lay them on the ground while I'm using it. Anyways, this log stop here comes up. This mill, they say, will do a 20-inch log. It'll actually only cut about 18 inches high. So I'm assuming the 20-inch log, you're going to cut a 2-inch round off of it. So I made these 11 inches, so they stick up 10 1/4 on top of my plywood little cheater box there, and they go down to 1.5 inches. So if the sawmill's all the way down, I can't hit them with the blade, and worked out pretty good. This is about a 200-pound piece of oak, I would say. There's a shot of the plywood box. I'm doing this by hand, so it might be a little shaky. This is a cam lock that I built, and I can get her down here. When it's all the way back like that, you put it against the log, you pull this handle down, and it pushes this dog out. I got a slight bevel cut on it, and it bites into the log real well. This is the first one that I built down here. I built it out of 1-inch tubing, and see if I can pull it up here without shaking too much. And you can see right there, you just give her a push and she locks in pretty tight. I locked the log in here and tried to pull it up with my skid loader. It's about a 500-pound log, and it actually lifted the mill off the ground. I was kind of surprised. This is the first one that I built. I put it on this 1-inch pipe. It's just some extra material that I had. I did have to drill a hole through the mill on one side. There was a hole on the other, but it works really well. And I had put it on Facebook, and a guy asked how much to make him one. I told him $50, and so I got to looking at it, and I never even thought about this is the tube that comes with it, the receiver, and there's a deal that goes in here that's got a hand screw on it that is just a nightmare. It's pointed and pokes holes in the logs, and you gotta sometimes screw it 2.5, 3 inches in by hand, and then you gotta back it out and stuff. These cam locks make it really, really fast. So this is the one that I made for myself. See if I can get it to go in here. Yep, it just slides in like so. The bad thing about this Harbor Freight mill is this contraption here. It's Chinese design. They mount it with these 2 bolts in this flange on each side, and you can see this little short rod in here. It goes in just a little ways. This thing here slides back and forth, and you're constantly having to pull it over to get your thing to lock in. I don't like it. I probably should just weld it solid, just tack it right there, something. It's a bad design, but it just, you got to pay attention when you're locking these on. Anyways, just to give you an idea. Oh, I got that locked down. You don't need to lock these when they go down. Let me back up a little bit here. Pull that tube over. You can just push this over with your thumb like that, tight. And then this here is against the log. And you just pull her down. And she's in there tight. I can't shake it loose. But I'm going to start building these in the shop. I think I'm going to continue at the $50 price. And I'm going to build about a dozen of them, keep them on hand. So if anybody's interested, I'm going to make these for 50 bucks. And then the log dogs in the back that I made. Probably have to unlock this to pull this one up. These here, oh no, it's against the bolt down there, so I'm good. I'm going to make these for 25 bucks a piece, so $125. You can have 3 of these to go in the 3 receivers, and then a cam lock clamp to hold your logs in place while you cut them. And I think that's a wrap. If you like the video, or you give me a thumbs up, and share it, and tell your friends about it. And you got any questions, feel free to ask them. Thanks. Have a good one, YouTube.